Welcome. Today, we are going to walk through step by step exactly how to set up your Autotask DNS records inside GoDaddy. We're going to make this completely foolproof. Okay, so let's just dive right in. But before we touch a single setting, let's talk about why we have to be so careful. What is the absolute biggest risk when you're messing with DNS? This is it. The stakes are incredibly high. One little typo, one small mistake, and you can literally bring your entire company's email to a grinding halt. That's the one thing we are going to make sure does not happen today. But don't you worry, we've got a simple 6-step roadmap to get this done right. We'll start with the most important rule, the SPF rule. Then we'll cover how to merge your record, add the validation record, pop in the DKIM record, and then, crucially, how to verify everything before that final click. So let's get started with Section 1. This is, without a doubt, the single most important rule you need to burn into your brain before you even think about logging into GoDaddy. And here it is. Your domain can have one and only one SPF record, period. That's it. Not two, not kinda one, just one. For your email to work right, this is totally non-negotiable. And what even is an SPF record? Well, think of it like the bouncer's guest list for your company's email. It's just a simple text record that tells the whole world which services, like Microsoft 365 or Autotask, are officially allowed to send email from your domain. If you have two different lists, nobody knows which one to check, and your mail just gets rejected. Okay, so that leads to the big question, right? If we can only have one guest list, how do we add Autotask to it? This is exactly where most people get it wrong, but the fix is actually really, really simple. The key word here is merge. You do not create a new record. You find the one you already have, the one that's probably got Microsoft 365 in it, and you simply edit it. You just add the include.autotask.net part right in there with everything else. You're just adding a new name to the existing list. So let's be crystal clear about what not to do. Number 1, do not, under any circumstances, create a second SPF record. And number 2, do not delete any of the other services that are already on the list. If you do, email from those services will suddenly stop working. All right, next up is the domain validation record. What's the point of this one? Well, this is just Autotask's way of making sure you actually own the domain you're working on. It's like them asking to see your ID before they let you make changes. For this, you're just going to create a brand new TXT record. It's super easy. Autotask will give you a specific host and a specific value. Your job is to just copy and paste them exactly into the right fields in GoDaddy. Seriously, copy-paste is your best friend here. Don't even try to type it by hand. Okay, let's move on to the DKIM record. Now, this one is technically optional, but I am telling you it is highly recommended. Think of it as a digital tamper-proof seal on your emails. It adds another layer of security and proves the message is legit. Now, this record is a little different. It's a CNAME record, which is basically just a shortcut or an alias. You'll copy the host name from Autotask and then tell it to point to this value, dkim.autotask.net. That's it. You're just telling the internet where to go to verify that digital signature we talked about. Okay, quick timeout for a very important public service announcement. These changes you just made in GoDaddy, they are not instant. It takes time for them to spread across all the servers on the internet. It's usually pretty quick, maybe 15 minutes to an hour, but it can take up to 24 hours. So you've got to be a little patient. So you've made your changes, you've waited a little bit. Now what? How can you be 100% sure that you did everything right before you go back to Autotask and click that final verify button? Well, you don't have to guess. You don't need to just cross your fingers and hope for the best. You can, and you absolutely should, use a free tool online to check your work and see if the changes are live for the rest of the world. Our go-to tool for this is a website called MX Toolbox. It's totally free, super reliable, and it lets you check each specific record type we just set up. This is how you verify your work with absolute confidence. First things first, head over to MX Toolbox and do an SPF lookup. Just type in your company's domain name and hit go. You're going to scan through the results, and you're looking for one thing, include.autotask.net. If you see that in the text, boom, step 1 is a success. Okay, next up, switch over to the TXT lookup tool. For this one, you're going to paste in that full, long host name that Autotask gave you for the validation record. When you run the search, the result should be that short validation code. If the value matches what you were given, you are good to go. And for the final check, you're going to use the CNAME lookup tool. you'll check that autotask.domain_key hostname. And all you need to do is confirm that the result says it points to dkim.autotask.net. Once all three of these checks pass, you know for a fact that your DNS is set up perfectly. All right, once you get green lights on all three of your checks in MX Toolbox, it's time for the final and honestly, the most satisfying step of all. Let's head back over to Autotask and make this official. You're just going to navigate over to the domain validation section in your admin settings. And now you can click that verify/enable DKIM button with total confidence because you've already proven that it's going to work. And that's really all there is to it. By breaking it down into these small, precise steps, edit one record, create two others, and then verify, you've successfully and safely configured your DNS. It's that careful, methodical approach that guarantees success every single time. So now, with this task checked off the list, your email coming from Autotask is officially more secure and way more deliverable. It's a great time to stop and ask yourself, what's the next security improvement you're going to tackle?